Hello and welcome to the Risori Journal, 5 questions. It's wonderful to have Chinea Rodriguez with us today. She's a shopping writer for The Cut and New York Magazine. So the first question we have today is, what does your typical day look like?
Yeah, that is a great question. I feel like people are like, there's no typical day, but sometimes it really isn't. But I think day to day, like kind of the basics is kind of checking my calendar, checking my emails, just kind of making sure everything that I need to do is done. Then it could be kind of, let's say there's a sale, I could be, going through the sales, kind of curating that. If I have an interview to do, it could be prepping for the interview, getting my questions together, going over questions, doing research. Or sometimes, just working on, maybe a roundup of posts like coats or jackets or shoes. And that can kind of be fun, just kind of looking into that. I'm like, oh, okay, we're gonna update this. Like, what are the shoes that I like? And just kind of going through that. So yeah,
That
that's
is
typical
so
data.
fun.
That's like the typical, yeah. That's like the typical. Sometimes there'll be an event that I'll have to go to, later on. So yeah, typical day to day meetings. We have like, our meetings, work meetings. I do desk sides here and there. I try to spread them out throughout the week.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's like the day to day.
Yeah, so lots on. Chinea, what does your role as shopping writer entail, and what was your journey to lead you to this interesting role?
Yeah. So shopping writer is kind of like I'm kind of meeting e-commerce and just kind of editorial writing just somewhere in the middle. So I really like to just explore the different ways I can write about shopping. So it's, covering sales and it's covering roundups and holidays and gift guides and what have you. But I think there's a lot of other ways to just kind of talk about shopping and just make shopping more accessible for people. So that's really what I like to do. I have a column that I work on called Where Did You Get That? Where I interview, very stylish people. And it's like, we're very nosy. We're like asking all of these questions, which is kind of like, where did you get this? Where did you get that? Like, what's your favorite thing that you own? What is something that you spent the most amount of money on? And like,
Oh, I
like
love it.
it's like, oh, you have a Prada bag. So how do you kind of decide you're going to spend so much money on a product? Like, just like kind of questions. And it's very fun. I think like everyone has had such amazing recommendations and just style tips. So that's always fun to work on. And I've just like, every time I work on that, there's something like new I want to buy. I'm like, oh, I need one of these agendas, one of these planners, one of this and that. So it's always really
Yeah.
fun to work on.
Oh, that must be hard just to like go, okay.
Yeah.
Everything,
Yeah, I know.
like,
I'm actually pretty good at not like shopping during work, but every once in a while I'll see something and I'll email it to myself.
Yeah.
So like email it to my personal email and I'm like, I'm gonna think about that and I'm gonna go back to that later when I'm done with work. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty good about that just because there would be a lot of temptation for shopping. But as for how I got to this role, I guess it was I would say like not pretty untraditional, but I think so. I always loved magazines and I always wanted to write for one and I always wanted to, work at a website. So I started interning as soon as I could, like as soon as I got an internship. In college, I was probably like 19, 20, and I was at 17. And so really what I was trying to do was just kind of figure out what I wanted to do. And so what I wanted to do within magazines. And didn't even know if I was going to end up working in fashion at all. And I didn't even think about working in beauty. I was just like, I knew I wanted to work in magazines. And so from 17, I just kept doing different internships and in these internships kind of figuring out, okay, I don't want to do this and I don't want to do that, but I know what I want to do now. And I thought I was going to do fashion news. Like I love fashion news. And I was like, this is amazing. Like I'm going to be a fashion news writer. And then I ended up doing a ton of beauty stuff. And I was like, this is amazing too. Because I love fashion. I love beauty. And then I was doing a ton of beauty writing when I was an assistant at Brides, when I was interning at Birdie, not interning at Birdie, interning at Pop Sugar. And then I ended up covering beauty news at Birdie. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And then I kind of started freelancing and doing more shopping writing, just more e-commerce and more kind of gift guides and rounding stuff up and stuff like that. And I was like, this is also really fun too. And it also allows me to kind of marry these two things that I really love, where I don't really have to pick if I'm writing about beauty or writing about fashion. And so I can kind of, and I'm always the kind of person who's like, who has a ton of beauty recommendations and like no one wants to listen to me. And I'm like, I've tried everything. Please listen to me.
Yeah.
Like my friends are like, okay, like I have so many friends who are like kind of into beauty, but like not as much as me. So they'll be like, oh yeah, I don't know. I've been using this moisturizer. I don't know anything about it. And I'm like, come on.
We're beauty obsessed. So send it to us.
Right. Right. And so, yeah, so I just kind of ended up freelancing and then I landed at the Cut where I can kind of marry all of my various interests in beauty and fashion. And, you know, sometimes whenever I'm looking into like wellness stuff or home decor, which is like something that I'm, you know, interested in as well, but haven't worked in as much, it's just like everything I can write about now. So I don't have to pick and choose.
Oh, well, that's fun. That's really interesting then. It's good that you can then go on and look into different areas like the home decor and so forth, something different, just to sometimes that mixing it up's fun, isn't it? Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's so fun because I like will see something that I like and I'm like, oh wow, where's, you know, who can I recommend this to? Where's a place for this? And it's like my gift guide, you know?
Yeah.
So there's always like a place for something that I love. And also to discover new things. I've like learned so many things.
It's an amazing journey. And I love like the kind of process of elimination. It's like, you know, just finally
right.
where your place in that you've really loved and been
right. Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. I was in like the fashion closet steaming things and I was like running samples around. I was like, nope, this is not you know. And then I was like, okay, I want to write. Like I knew that I wanted to write. And so process of elimination.
Yeah. And it's good. It's good to you know, then have respect for everyone's different roles when you've tried so many. I like it. It's
absolutely.
In my career, I've kind of done it all, and I feel that it's just rewarding.
And it is a process, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. And so, can you tell us about your research process for writing your articles?
Yeah, it's just shopping now. I mean, it's kind of like
it's very
like a lot of things. Yeah. You're so tired. I'm on Nordstrom.com all day now.
If you need an assistant, I could be your assistant.
I mean, right. Yeah, it's definitely a lot of, I kind of feel like my research doesn't always stop. I mean, there's definitely times where it's more focused, but I think even when I'm on Instagram, I'm like, what are people wearing? If I keep noticing people are wearing a certain type of boot, I'm like, there's something there. This might be a trend. So it's like when I'm on social media, when I'm on Instagram, and TikTok is a big one where people are kind of like trends kind of emerge now. So even in like my downtime, if I see something that's kind of interesting, like I have a ton of screenshots in my phone. If I see a new brand that's kind of interesting, screenshots in my phone. So there's like tons of that. I think the traditional kind of like on my work hours, my research is like, you know, setting up desk sides with brands just to kind of discover new brands. I love talking to brand founders. I think everyone has a really interesting story. I want to know you guys' story, like everything, because especially with beauty, I think everyone has like a different path to beauty. And I think it's really interesting and just like really different connection to it. So desk sides are always really fun and helpful for like discovering a brand and just kind of knowing the intent behind every product they're putting out, like especially with beauty, with like skincare, and they're like this moisturizer, the process behind it. Like walking into Sephora, you might not know the process behind it, but like talking to the founders, you know that it's made from like recycled materials and they get it from a farm and like all of their ingredients are like that. So I love, you know, doing the sides for that reason. So going through pitches and just kind of seeing what's new. We get press releases. It's like, you know, something's coming out in a week, in a month, in a couple of days. And sometimes, you know, you'll get a couple of different press releases and it's like everyone's releasing a moisturizer this winter. That might be something to keep an eye on. You know, every product has snail mucin in it, something like that. Like things will come up and like you'll be like, interesting. Like maybe a trend is emerging here. sales, going through it and just kind of taking that knowledge into looking at a sale and kind of curating a sale. Because I mean, like in my spare time, if I like know that there's like a sale at like Nordstrom or something, I'm not like going through it too much. But for like work, I'm like really pouring through the sales to kind of make sure I get all of the good things that are on sale, even though I like myself personally, I'm just kind of like, oh, I'm on page 2. I'm kind of done looking at this.
Yeah.
So really, curating that. Yeah, paying attention to what people are wearing, what my friends are talking about, everything. So it's a lot of everything.
Yeah, from just everyday life, probably just around. Then it's great. We're so lucky through technology how we've got so many different resources to try and find information from. It's really exciting.
Do you ever get writer's block?
I do. Yeah. To kind of deal with that, I feel like the biggest thing is to just get away from the computer and just like do anything else. Like get up, walk around, go to the kitchen, go to the fridge, like walk around for a bit and then like, but not too far because then like I'll get an idea and then I'm like, oh, now I have to run back and type that out before I forget. But I think because sometimes you spend so much time looking at something and then I'm like, okay, this is not, the words don't make sense anymore. Let me get up, let me walk around and kind of think, let me do anything else. Let me go to another project, kind of go through my emails, something else to kind of, clear my head for a bit.
Yeah. Let it sit.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, well, and I love the silly season and celebrating Christmas. It's one of my favorite times of the year. And as shopping writer, what are the must-have Christmas ideas this year?
Yeah. Oh my God. I really love to gift like kind of like luxury beauty items. I feel like that's something especially someone who's like kind of into beauty or a little bit more into beauty, I feel like that's something someone wouldn't get themselves. And I think that's a big thing to think about when gifting is like, what won't they get themselves? Yeah. So I love I know Hermes does like little lipsticks and they're kind of pricey to kind of buy yourself, but like to get it as a gift. Yeah. Just like for a holiday, I think that's kind of special. Like it's really beautiful packaging and it's reusable. So something like that is really nice. So kind of just like thinking about like what wouldn't they get themselves. I love like little beauty gift sets with like multiple products in it because you can kind of like, someone always tells me, oh, I tried something. One of my friends is always like, oh, I tried something in one of those kits and I really loved it. And I went and bought it after. So I think it's just a great way to kind of discover a new product. Yeah, and I'm trying to think of more things. Yeah, I think, but I think the key is kind of just like thinking about like stuff that they don't have that they might want. So if someone has a hobby, kind of cater to that hobby. If someone said they want to try a hobby, cater to that hobby. Also, candles are always really, really good. Like I have this candle. Like candles are like always really good. I love candles. I have a ton of them, and I know my friends love candles. I think you can't go wrong, especially if you get like a high-end candle, which is again something someone might not buy themselves just because they're kind of looking at the price tag and they're like, maybe for a special event, and the holidays are like the most special event. And I think the towel, the Rosori towel, I think for like someone who's super into skincare, I think that's a really good gift because it's kind of like when someone's really into skincare, they might have all of the products. They might have they have like the Tata Harper, they have like the Ordinary, they have, everything. They have all the K-beauty and stuff like that. So I think tools are really fun. So something that they can kind of add to their routine. So like the LED mask and the towel, I feel like something like that is really fun just because, it's like kind of adding another layer of luxury to their routine.
Yeah. And they're all kind of caring too. It's like you're saying, personalize it, think of the person, and all those products are nurturing. Like when I have a beautiful candle, like, it makes me relax, and it's just really beautiful. And then just giving someone a bit of beautiful lipstick, like the Hermes lipstick, make someone feel good. So they're beautiful suggestions. No, I love those. So you've given me some help this year. So
I love that.
Yeah, they're also like reusable. Like like you wouldn't get rid of those things right away. Like there's something that you're going to keep for a little bit.
Exactly. I know, because with the Resore towels, that they've just got such a long lifespan, and so I like that. They're a good recommendation too. We're big fans of the Resore towel. We like them. We like them a lot.
Now, it's so interesting. I had been talking to another towel brand founder, and they were talking about the process that goes into making towels, and I didn't know. And I was like, oh my God, I didn't know. I thought I didn't know. Like like a shirt. Like I thought it was kind of like making a shirt or something, like super easy. And they're like, no, it's not like that. Which is so funny to me. It's like one of those things that I learned talking to brand founders that like I had no idea like the kind of process that goes into making something like that.
Yeah, no, it's certainly a process, and launching this business, we've had so much growth from it and learned so many experiences, and it's just been an amazing journey so far. We're really loving the process. Well, thank you so much for today. It's been so lovely chatting, and we love what you do, and thank you so much.
Thanks so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
And send us the must-have Christmas list as you do them.
Yes. Oh, and my skincare routine. I have to send you guys that. It was so long.
That'd be amazing. Beautiful.
I had to make like a Google Doc for it.
Oh, fantastic. No, we can't wait to receive it, and we're going to share it with the Resore community. They'll be really interested in learning what your beauty routine is. All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.